Okay, we've made it through definitions A, B, C, D, E, and F, so we are on G. Let's go ahead and clear some space here so we have some room to work. So I'm going to go ahead and get rid of these diagrams. So letter G gives us an equation. X minus h squared plus y minus k squared equals r squared. What tips me off on this one is a couple things. One, they're specifying r, which stands for radius. So I already know this is talking about a circle. But the other thing we can see is that we have an x that has a square value and a y that has a square value. We know that a parabola only has an x value that is squared, at least from what we've learned so far. And the y value is not squared. So this clearly is an equation of a circle. Let's take a look at our possible answers. Well, we have standard form of a circle. 3 doesn't talk about a circle. 7 doesn't talk about a circle. We're kind of down to number 2. This is a standard form of a circle. So letter G goes in space number 2. Let's take a look at H. H says an angle whose vertex is on the circle. So we're talking about a circle again. Let's go ahead and draw a circle. I'm going to draw it up here. An angle whose vertex is on the circle. So let's go ahead and draw an angle with a vertex on the circle. I'll do the best I can to draw straight lines. It's not bad. Okay, we've only learned about 2 angles inside of a circle, a central angle and an inscribed angle. A central angle, as we've learned previously, has a vertex on the center. But this vertex is not on the center. It's the vertex which is on the circle. And on the circle means it's touching the actual circumference of the circle. Since this can't be a central angle, it must be an inscribed angle. So going through our list, oh, there it is, inscribed angle, which is letter H. Okay, let's take a look at letter I, the shape made by all points equidistant from a point and a line. Well, they're telling us that the point and the line already exist. So we're going to go ahead and draw a point and a line. And we're going to find the shape of all the points that are the same distance from these 2 things. Now, if you don't know what this already is, you can kind of just estimate what's going to look like. This point is the same distance from this point and the line. Here's a point right here that's about the same distance from both. This point here is about the same distance from both. This point here is about the same distance from both. You can do the same thing on the other side, and you can see we're actually drawing a parabola. We've learned the definition of a parabola is all the points that are equal distance from a given point and a given line. So letter I is actually talking about a parabola. Thankfully, parabola is still here in our vocabulary. So we've got I is parabola. Let's take a look at the last one. Pretty easy. We only have 1 to go. I always like to match it up so I know that I've got my definitions right. If I end up looking at letter J and it doesn't match my leftover definition or leftover vocab word, and then I know I've made a mistake somewhere. Letter J is an equation y equals a times x minus h squared plus k. You should recognize this as a parabola. The x term is squared, the y term is not. So this must be a parabola, and this is, we've learned this in class, the vertex form of a parabola, because we can find the vertex right here. The vertex is going to be HK. So letter J is the vertex form of a parabola, and that matches up perfectly, and our definitions are finished.